He was recently inducted into the National Federation Prep Hall of Fame at a ceremony that took place right here in New Orleans, very appropriately. He's been named USA Today National Coach of the Year twice. He's the second winningest coach in the history of Louisiana prep football and United States prep football at that. Only one guy ahead of him, and he sticks around long enough, he'll catch him too. He's won 540 games, and 90% of his games in 46 years. Winning percentage of 90%, 26 state championships, 35 trips to the state championship game. Enough said. John Curtis opens its season this coming Friday night at Berman Stadium against a very good Landry Walker team, a game to see for sure. Please give a warm Ready New Orleans Sports Foundation Quarterback Club welcome to Coach J.T. Curtis of John Curtis.
Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate that. And just as a quick side note, I've been coming to these events for several years, and I want to tell you what an improvement it is in some of the faces in the crowd. Ladies, thank you for being here. Ooh, I've been looking at those same ugly faces so many years. You brighten up the whole place. Let's give our ladies a nice round of applause. Prep sports is really going to be exciting this year. We have some exceptional football teams in our community. As you know, Ed and I do Friday night football, and we were talking about it off the set last Friday about the number of outstanding teams that we have in our community. McDonough 35, Brother Martin, Grummel. I think noise was made up the river at Lutcher when they upset Vesterhan in the Jamboree. Riverside upsetting Mandeville. Landry Walker, as Ken mentioned. They have just some outstanding football teams and some outstanding talent. It'll be a hotbed of recruiting again. The recruiters were in May, getting names and getting information for some of the players that we have in our community, and certainly this will be a year that will be better for that. Both LSU and Tulane, as you know, are actively involved in recruiting in our community, but there's a lot of competition and there's a lot of really good athletes, and so it'll be exciting, and we're looking forward to the opportunity to compete. I think prep sports in our community is on the rise. I hope that we're going to be able to solve some of the issues that we have in the state of Louisiana with the split that we have in our association. I'm sure you have been able to follow through the last 2 years that we have divided in a split in our playoffs and formulated 9 state champions, which, to be very honest with you, in my humble opinion, is too many. That we need to be able to settle the championship on the playing field, and that the best teams win. As you know, last year we lost on a Friday night to Jesuit in a really good football team in a very exciting game, and then 1 week later there was another championship. And I know both those two schools would like to have known who the true champion of the state of Louisiana is. So I'm hoping that bringing ourselves back together will be a reality in our association, and that we can have pressure from you all, the community, from the people that are involved in sports, whether in broadcasting or through the New Orleans Sports Foundation, to say, hey, let's put our kids back together. We don't need to separate ourselves away. We need to unite ourselves together and compete on the athletic field and the value that that competition will bring to the table. Our football team this year is a team that has some areas that have to be rebuilt and some areas that have experience, and that's the way it usually is from year in and year out. As you know, we're moving into a new league. We're going into the Catholic League, which, by the way, our motto was to see if we convert all those guys to be Christians, and we think we got a fair chance to get that done through the season. But in all seriousness, it's been a real honor to be with those teams and those schools. They handle their business in a very professional way. They do what is in the best interest of their student athletes in their school, and I have really enjoyed our association with them and look forward to many years of association with the teams in that league. But it's going to be a very competitive league. Week in and week out, you're going to have to be on your best game in order to compete. I I think you have every team in the league has an opportunity to win every week, regardless of who you're playing. Obviously, we need to stay away from injury because of the competitiveness of the schedule. You'd like to be able to put your team on the field that you start the season with, and that'll be a key. Being in a competitive district, that's going to be important for us to have an opportunity to win. Again, just to kind of recap, I think you can look for some really exciting football. We have some outstanding teams, and if you have the opportunity, get out and support your local high school. One of the things that I want you to realize is that we have a tremendous product. I hear about the state of Texas, I hear about Florida, I hear about Ohio, I hear about California. Louisiana takes no back seat to any of those schools, or any of those states. We are capable of competing. Archbishop Rummel will be on the road this year going to play in New Jersey against Don Bosco, one of the best prep teams in the country, and they will compete with them. So we have a great product, and we want to encourage you to be a part of it. The kids need your support. It's disheartening to go to the stands and not see fans in support. And so if you can be a part of that, to encourage that in your local school and in your community, let me encourage you to do that in the support of the kids. I know we have a lot of great guests to come up after me. I'm going to kind of shut it off. If anybody has any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Raise your hand. Over here.
You got to get a mic.
Yeah, the microphone's coming.
When you get my age, this left ear is...
I thought the 2-year split system was an experiment, and it doesn't seem to have much momentum yet. It's still in place. What's the 2-year split system with the championships, the nine championships that you're talking about? I thought that was just implemented as an experiment and was supposed to end after 2 years if it didn't have any momentum. And it does, from what everybody says, they don't like it. Why is it still there, and what kind of chance do they have of changing it?
In the split you're talking about?
Yes.
There has been our new commissioner. We have a new commissioner, Abe Bonine, who has come in from Nevada, who has brought in some fresh ideas and some fresh thoughts. He put a large contingency of people together. We've met twice. We've had several suggestions that have been brought to the table, and we're in the process of working our way through it. I think it's his desire to put the state back together. There are some inequities. One of them that was brought to the table, which made perfectly good sense, that nobody really thought about, was the urban and the rural communities. Schools that are in rural communities do not have the opportunity to draw kids into their school or to have increased in enrollment, and they're having to compete against schools that have that opportunity, especially with the system of the charter schools being implemented. So there's the proposal to bring us back together in a rural and an urban league and then play in the playoffs. So there are several different proposals that are coming to the table. We hope that the cooler heads will remain, we can work our little differences out, and that we'll be able to put ourselves together for the 2016-17 season. This season is done. This has already been established. We're hoping that for the 16-17 season, we can be in the Superdome competing for 5 state championships.
Raise your hand. Question.
Anybody else? Good. Hey, thank you. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.